To our Bar Crawl Radio listeners, remember, there have been others who have suffered social distancing and been able to find a way forward.
Who is it? You're welcome, my friend, whoever you are.
We shall be friends. I have prayed many times for God to send me a friend. It's very lonely here, and it's been a long time since any human being came into this hut. I shall look after you, and you will comfort me.
All the changes because of COVID-19.
I'm telling you, it's
It's a wonderful world now.
in a way, it is a wonderful world here at the Windermere Chateau Bar, overlooking lovely West End Avenue.
Where we have our own wide avenue that we can walk on. Cars can come, but they have to go slow.
I'm thinking of setting up bigger roadblocks. I'm going to put my body like right in the middle of the road and yeah, but it's our own street, and now we have they set up and we're taking advantage of it. They set up a Windermere Chateau Bar street level.
Yes, they did.
So between 92nd and 93rd, now there's
With
a
an open mic?
There's an open mic there, and they let us set up our Bar Crawl Radio as part of that open mic, and been getting testimony from various people who are walking up and down West End Avenue.
We've also been a little political about it because we've put up our Black Lives Matters and
Protest
other
in
signs.
place.
Protest in place, yeah.
Right.
Our signs.
Because we're certainly not going to be protesting with those hundreds of thousands of people that are walking in the streets so close
no,
together.
sweetie, not you. You can't do that.
Hey, wait a minute, guys, we're broadcasting
Honey,
over
stop
here.
telling them to be quiet. It's a bar. They
I know,
can
but
talk.
they listen to me.
It's our bar.
Okay, so this
the
is Bar Crawl
R-Ball.
Radio B&A.
It is.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I feel good. I
Yeah.
feel good. My classes are over.
I know you were saying that now that the classes are over and you had your last class today, online class.
I didn't know what to do with myself.
And it's like it was like you closed it down and then you go like, huh?
Yep.
Huh?
Yep. I've been pushing and pushing and pushing at such a speed, keeping it such a level that I was working 12 hours a day like I own my own business, and it was very rewarding. And
I know you've been getting up like at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you've been going until dinner time.
Sometimes 7, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And every once in a while we'll go out for a walk for about an hour, but then you
Yeah.
come back and you go back on the couch and you start working some more.
Sometimes I missed walking days, which was not good for me. I know.
No. And then today, so you're going, and then stop.
It's done. It was
And
our
it's
last
done.
class.
And you're feeling kind of...
It was all teary-eyed. We cried and said goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We said goodbye to one particular student who was moved away. And it's just...
Where do you move away to?
She.
She moved away to...
Another country.
What other country?
I can't talk about my students.
We don't know where you
Okay.
teach. Just what country?
Mexico.
So, that's pretty good.
I know. I told her that we're going to come and visit her. So
Yeah.
we're going to find you. We're going to find you.
Yes, just stay alive. We
I
will
really
find you.
love this young lady so much. Yeah. So yeah, today was the last day.
Yeah, and now I think you feel like you're a bit of an empty vessel.
I do. I mean, I have work to do, no doubt. I mean, I definitely have work to do.
Oh, my Rebecca.
Well, I have to get ready for the next semester.
The next semester is like years
No.
away.
No. Oh, no. It's mere days away.
Yeah, well.
So, I mean, not that I'm doing the summer courses. Well, no, I am actually. No, in fact, I am. However, I think that'll be a lighter workload, and what I'm going to be getting ready for is the fall.
Yeah, but here you've got a whole day or two, maybe a whole weekend in
Yeah.
which you're just kind of like, you don't really have to do anything.
I know.
And
but
I feel like you're
I
kind of
have
like
to.
lost. Oh, you
I
have
know.
to. Okay, all right. Well, then we're back. We're back. Okay, we're good.
I do.
Okay.
But I did feel a little lost this afternoon because I didn't want to get started on anything that I need to get started on just yet, and I just felt like, okay,
Yeah, well, what about me? It's
What
like
do I do?
I don't even know if I have a job.
I know.
I mean, I've been
I
teaching
know.
for
Well, you're creating your
time.
own job. You're creating.
I am. I'm creating Cinephile's bucket list, in which
Exactly.
we get online and have conversations about what I think are very good, great films.
And you are a great person to have a conversation with about
I'm a
film.
great
I
person.
can't tell you how many films. Okay, I don't know if this is a great advertisement, but I can't tell you how many films that I have not really enjoyed
Yeah.
until I've had a chance to talk to you about, and you point out things, and I'm like, wow, that was really cool. That's actually fascinating. And
Yeah, I still don't like the film, but that was
Well,
fascinating.
I mean,
Yeah.
you learn though. I learn.
So anyone listening to this, I'll be starting a new business called Cinephile's Bucket List. Cinephile's spelled with a sin, C-I-N-E.
Well, isn't that the way it's supposed to be spelled?
Well, sin could be S-I-N.
Oh no,
Yeah.
like cinema.
Cinema, right?
CIN.
Cinema. Cinephile's Bucket List, and we'll be starting in July, and
July
we'll
1st.
see. We'll see how it goes. And I have a set of 5 films, which I think are just terrific films
About marriage.
about marriage. Right.
Right.
Cinema on marriage. That's the
Right.
name of the first series of films. Once a week, and we'll talk. We'll watch the film, and then we'll.
And
talk
there's a
about
fee. You have to pay. It's $25 per film, or if you do all 5 films, it's $110.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So anyway, there's the ad for today, and I'm sponsoring Bar Crawl Radio.
Okay. What do I get?
DNA,
What do I get?
and we're getting very close to 100, by the way. And what do you get?
Wait, how close?
Well, we're at about 97 or 98.
Really?
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, we're really moving. I don't know what this number is, but we're moving along
Wow.
here.
Okay, 100.
here at the
We
Windermere
should do something
Chateau Bar.
special. You should
Yeah.
take me out to a fine dining restaurant.
That's all right. I think we will. Well, it's like we really have to come to the Windermere Chateau Bar, but I am installing a grill in the bar.
That's good.
So
Are
maybe
you inviting a fabulous chef in for an evening?
I said Alain Wisson.
and giving him a mask to wear?
Alain Wisson
Alain Wisson.
is going to be the master chef, and I hear he's really good at hamburgers. So
I want steak. This is a
Steak.
special occasion.
yeah, I don't know. We have to find a place where they're selling good steak, because the last steak we had,
It wasn't.
it wasn't very good
Well,
at all.
it's been, but we shouldn't really complain about the steak situation because it is a problem, and we don't
You
want
s- you
we
said
don't
it
want
was-
I don't want anybody working in a factory that's not safe. So I don't need to eat steak. Forget
All
about
right.
it. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Then we'll
I'll have
we'll have-
whatever.
And today you had tube steaks.
I'll have grilled cheese.
You had two tube steaks today. I
I
noticed.
know. I was watching a movie. I didn't have 2.
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought there was indentations of 2 in the pan.
No, it was split.
Ah, you had a split. Ah,
I
a
split
split
it
tube
down the
steak.
middle and broil it.
Yeah, that's great. So what's
Oh
the
my
topic
God,
for today?
2
We
tube
haven't even
steaks
got
is
to it
too
yet.
much. The topic for today
Is?
is the silver lining to the in place quarantining, hunkering down,
Social distancing.
social distancing,
Yeah.
having to stay in our apartments, mostly our homes. The advantages, I guess. I mean, we can talk about the disadvantages. That's like easy.
No, but you said the topic was the advantages.
the advantages. Yes.
of being hunkered down.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yes.
And so I'm advertising my other podcast called Hunkered Down. That's HUNKERED DOWN. Hunkered Down podcast, in which I talk to artists, performing artists,
Right.
actors, and
Who really
musicians.
can't work
No, they can't work right.
if they don't have an audience.
But and there is some good coming out of it.
Okay, well, that's the thing. That's what I want to talk about.
About the good that's coming out of Hunkered Down.
of the pandemic. Let's just
Right.
say it. The good of the pandemic.
The good part of the
The
pandemic.
good part. What
Yeah,
it's forced us to do, to look at,
right.
to be, to contemplate.
It's interesting. You were just watching that movie. What is it called? About the young boy. Wonder. And at the end of it, there is.
Because I read the book to my students,
students, right.
and we watched the movie.
At the end of it, or towards the end, they're doing a version of Our Town,
Yes.
And there's a speech that Emily, she dies and goes to the graveyard, and
Yeah.
she goes back home. She's allowed to go back for one day, just an ordinary day
They
after
tell
she's
her.
died.
They tell her, don't pick a special day.
Right, exactly.
Pick an
And
ordinary day.
then at the end she says, "I can't take it anymore," because it's like everything's going by so fast, and
Yeah.
you've just got to notice how wonderful
Right.
things are. And I'm telling you, by being hunkered down and going out for an hour or so,
That's what it is.
and it's like I'm really looking at I've never looked at this neighborhood like I
Yes.
have before.
Yes.
We live in a wonderful neighborhood on the Upper West Side.
Yes.
The buildings are just amazing. And you took us out for...
We did a walking tour.
for a
I had an
walking
old
tour.
tour book and about the buildings, and
Yeah.
it's dated, but it still was relevant. And we walked up north and we walked south a bit, and we found the buildings that were in the book, and we read about them.
And they were all over the place.
yeah.
Gorgeous buildings,
Yes.
stained glass.
And we're going, I've never noticed this before.
Never saw it before.
Yeah.
And now we walk in the middle of the street because we're trying to stay away from everybody else.
And because the
We can't
avenue has been closed to traffic. Well,
Right.
traffic-ish.
And you can actually see the buildings when you walk in the middle of the street.
Right, right.
Instead
right.
of walking on the sidewalk, you can't see them really that well.
Right.
You're either the trees are getting in the way,
A
or you're
different
too
perspective. That's what it is. It's a different perspective.
close. Yeah.
The COVID virus has given us a different perspective.
So there is a good aspect to that, and I part of me is not looking forward to when they start taking the stanchions away and stop blocking
and the
off
cars
the street.
are driving by.
And then, with this West End Avenue becomes a place where there's a lot of emergency vehicles that go through here. And
well, they still do late at night. You heard them.
yeah,
a
but
week
not
ago.
not as many, and
Well,
there's
that's
not as many
fortunate,
cars.
Yeah.
In a way, I'm kind of glad I'm in the city. A lot of our friends have left, and I'm kind of
There's
as long
something
as we
great
stay
about.
safe.
There's something great about being in this city and riding this horrible epidemic together.
You know.
And we've been the worst hit, and there's something really kind of an accomplishment you feel that
Yeah.
we've made it so far. We're not out yet. We're not out of it yet by any means. But
And we've been down on the street setting up an open mic in the
Mhm.
Windermere Chateau bar street level
right.
and inviting people to say things. And during this podcast,
Whatever they want.
I'm going to edit in some of these statements,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll know the happy birthday. This lovely young lady saying happy
Yes,
birthday and
so
her
sweet.
sister.
So
So
sweet.
that was good, and we'll insert those as we move through this podcast, and maybe as we do other B&A podcasts, we'll hear what people say and how they're getting along. We basically ask them, "How you doing?
right.
How you doing?"
Yeah. How you doing, Upper West Siders?
Say anything. My name is Allie. I'm a Columbia student living on the Upper West Side. Right now, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. Yeah, I think that we need to be doing more for white allyship. There's a lot of fake advocacy right now, and that bothers me. I run the social media for a company, and today they told me that they would not post something about Black Lives Matter. And that feels wrong to me. And my friend, who is a person of color, said, you know what, no, don't be upset, because maybe you don't want more fake advocacy. But I can't help but be upset that they won't even post something on Instagram that says Black Lives Matter. And I think that that's the least that we can be doing. I'm just annoyed. That's the current status update.
I was reading an editorial, and I was going to look it up, and maybe someone out there can look it up, but it was written by an African American man who also said that he is enjoying being hunkered down by being forced to stay in because he does not have to face racism,
Wow.
racist police, and
Wow.
racism in
In
New
his
York.
apartment.
No, in his
Right.
apartment, it's like
Yeah.
he's stuck and he feels safe and calmer.
That's amazing.
He feels healthier
That's
because he does not have to go out and
that's really sad, though,
and face
that
the,
he has to
the
stay in his
racist world
apartment to
that we
feel
are.
that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The kind of good side that I was talking about is that, like what we were talking about, noticing the buildings, like people that have left the city and are living
Yeah.
in the Catskills for a few weeks or in up more further upstate. They are really enjoying nature and having time to be with their families, playing games with their children, going for walks in the countryside and stopping at night and looking at the stars. It's things that you do for maybe a week when you're on vacation,
Yeah. again, I've said this before, but I think we're not going to really learn that much from it. I hope we do, and I hope this
I
moment.
think a lot of people are hopeful. There's a
that-
lot of things we want to see change.
That's fine. Hi, this is Bruce. We haven't been out of our apartment for several months, so we're very excited to be on the street. I'm glad that a lot of cities and governments, at least small ones, are reacting to the protests, and some major changes are finally happening. And we're living in a world which is both unbelievably stressful and has some light at the end of the tunnel. And I have not seen a light that big in a long time. So even though it's really dark, it's feeling better. Thank you. Okay.
I mean, we were just out on the street and we were talking with one of our unnamed friends who lives here at the Windermere Chateau.
It's really
near-
the name
near
of this place where we live, this
Windermere
apartment
Chateau
building, the
Hotel,
Windermere
right?
Chateau.
Hotel, and he's a single man, and he's having a hard time
Yeah,
because
he's hunkering down by himself.
by himself. He's having a hard time meeting
It's hard.
people
yeah,
and finding, companionship.
yes,
We'll put it that way.
yes.
And it's important. It's important, and being alone. And there's so many men and women in the Windermere Chateau Hotel
Right.
who are by themselves,
Yes.
right? And I don't know how they get along. I feel very lucky, my sweetie, that
I do too.
that we're together and that
We
we're
are
able
lucky.
to experience this together. In the sense, that's been a very positive thing.
And it's been a positive thing because I think we've gotten along pretty well.
I think we got along very well. I mean, we get ragged sometimes. There are some ragged edges
Just
that happen.
moments, just
But just
little
for a moment.
instances.
But I
It
think
would be
because
really weird if we didn't.
Yeah. But thank God we have alcohol, and we can get through those moments. I say,
That's what I
okay,
said.
stop. Let's have a drink.
The alcohol moment, and the alcohol and junk food has not gone away. It's not
It's-
deplenished at all.
It's not ceased.
I mean,
it's,
you can't.
It's
You may
continued.
not have enough toilet paper, but you've got your potato chips and your beer.
We
or
have
whatever.
our comfort food tonight for
Yeah.
dinner. We're having tuna melts. So
Tuna melts.
I don't know. That's comfort food. I feel good when I sit down with a tuna
bet.
melt and watch something semi good on Netflix.
Can I ask a question?
All right. Okay, you're hot.
Cool. Is this the most unified you've seen the country on the subject of racism and that there needs to be progress made on it? Is this the most unified you've seen the country in your experience as New Yorkers and Americans?
Being up on the Upper West Side, it seems like there is some unity going on. What do you think?
I think so, yes. I think that people in my life who normally would say it's fine, it just is going to take more time, or that officer, had a right to be scared for their life. People who would normally take that stance seem to be much more open to taking the stance that is like, no, this is absolutely irreprehensible and, needs to be addressed with, stricter measures around sort of what use of force might look like in policing. Sure, my name is Kristen.
Kristen.
Yep.
Thank you, Kristen. Upper West Sider, walking along West End Avenue on a beautiful Monday afternoon. Waiting for the big applause at 7.
I think you and I, honey, are the kind of people that try to find the good, in the moment,
Yeah.
wherever we are.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that you have to hold on to.
I just noticed something. You're not drinking
Well, when we were down on the street, I had a martini.
at the Windermere Chateau street level.
Yeah.
You had a martini.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
well,
I'm
I had
drinking
a
some water now.
I had a beer, and now I'm having wine.
Honey, you haven't really come up to my level yet.
And I'm moving on to Bailey's.
You're just not
later
a
this
graduate
evening.
student. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm working on it.
But
I'm working on it.
it's not like I want to kill myself.
Don't you want to go back to Gephardt's?
Of course I do.
I mean, I really
of course
miss
I do.
our.
I want to go back to Gephardt's with West End Avenue fully a street that it's not for cars. I want there to be changes. I don't want to lose everything that we had. I'm not suggesting that.
You say we look at the positive side, but the cars are coming back. They're going to come back, and they're going to fill up West End, and they're going to fill up Broadway, and they're going to come back.
I know. I know, it's too bad.
And we just, like everything in life, you've got to take, like Emily says in Hometown, you've got to take that moment and saying, slow it down
and you have to look at each other.
and appreciate it. I'm looking at you, baby.
I'm looking at you, babe. And that's the lesson of life. Be together. Be
in the moments that you
moment.
have, right? And maybe that's what this moment of COVID is kind of
that's
saying.
what
It's
I'm
like,
talking
yeah,
about.
is that it's this different, it's changed. It's kind of turned us around a little
We've
bit.
been forced to be where we are.
Yeah. To
And
stop.
so I think humans are going to try to make the best out of it.
Yep.
The best they can. And so they're saying, let's look at each other and think about things, and let's think about the way society is now. I mean, there was an impetus to to the protests, but it's an opportunity. We have an opportunity to make good social change.
Hello, my name is Jack. My wife and I, my wife Jamie and I,
Let's get the grammar right.
are from Montgomery, Alabama. And we moved to New York City last year on April the 1st.
Boy, good timing.
And this is not a really good April Fool's joke. But having said that, we are so happy to be in New York City
Right on.
at whatever time this may be. We thoroughly enjoyed our last year, and we expect to enjoy it even more. It's great to be in a city that is so socially conscious and racially diverse and takes not only racism seriously, but they take the virus seriously. They take everything seriously, and especially the upper left side.
I like it.
A friend of ours is a writer that we met here, and we live on the Upper West Side, but she coined a phrase, or she heard a phrase called the Upper Left Side, which we think is quite appropriate. But anyway, we're just very happy to be here at the 7 o'clock hour with all of the applause and good feelings, and in spite of the chaos, we want to live in peace, and we want all of our Black and Latino and Asian and whatever friends of color, they should live in the same peace that we live in, despite their economic or social conditions. So anyway,
You want to say something on the podcast? They're doing a podcast.
Peace is justice, justice is peace, just as the lady before said. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Yeah, one of the signs that we put together that we display downstairs, it's not chaos, it's social change.
It's
That's
yours,
what's going
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And I hope that's the case. I hope it is positive social change that we're going through, and that the police will become better by having less,
Right.
and by focusing on keeping us safe from crime.
Peacekeepers.
And they keep the peace, but they do it with less. And a lot of times when you have less, the product is better.
The United Nations has a, I don't know if they don't call themselves an army, they call them peacekeepers.
Yeah.
They go into very, very difficult situations, but they go in without firing a gun. They set up safe zones. I mean, they have a whole protocol, but they are not allowed to shoot at people. They're not in a war. They're actually peacekeepers. They're perspective. And they set up the safe zones are places where people that have been in these war-ravaged areas can come and feel safe. And they have schools, and they set up all kinds of things to benefit people, not to harm anyone, not to,
That would require an entire change in the culture of the police.
Well, that's what needs to happen.
And it can't be a police force for whites or for privileged.
No.
Or for the wealthy. It has to be a police force that is
For the people.
for keeping everybody safe.
Exactly.
And even if you're a policeman, and it's like I don't think I'd ever be a policeman, but if I were, I would hope I'd be one that would be, you first, me second. I'm here to keep you safe. and
Well,
I'm putting myself in front.
And you would
to
be
do that.
trained, and you would learn, and you would know how to.
But that's pretty presumptuous of me to say that because I'm not. I'm not going to be a police.
But what you're talking about is an imaginary you.
I'm an
who would
imaginary
be-
policeman, right?
Imaginary you who would be trained to keep the peace and to not escalate.
For
but
everybody.
To try to find ways to calm the situation and to bring it to a level where, you can just
Right.
very gently talk to people.
God, please God, let that happen. Maybe God has nothing to do with it. It's us. We have to make it happen.
So my name is Joel. Originally, I was from Peru, and then I came to the United States as a 9-year-old. This movement for me is something that's very dear and near to my heart. I came here and I became an undocumented citizen, and I know what it's like to not have your humanity recognized by the government. And that is something that, as my kinship brothers and sisters who are Black Americans, know very, very well. So as a Hispanic, past undocumented citizen of the United States, I stand with you, and I really, really urge my Hispanic community to stand by the Black Americans and show their respect and their appreciation for the movement that they have caused and all the things that they have done in order to move this country forward. So thank you very much. Thank you.
And I'm sorry, but get the bigots off the force.
Yeah, it's the children of Israel in the desert.
That's my anger speaking.
You've got to get rid of the old and let
Yep.
the new way of thinking come in. And
Yes.
Just defund
You're
that
done.
old.
You're done,
And let's
old
bring in a new way of thinking.
people of Israel. You're done, old bigots.
you
You're
old
done.
ones. You old
You are
been
an
living in
archaic
slavery, and now you need to be free.
waste. You need to stop.
Hi, Hugo, my name. How I'm doing? Speaking under the mask. Yeah. All I can say is that I hope that what we are witnessing these days will remain, will stay something of this, and not going back to the abnormal normality that we live in. So hopefully.
Where are you from?
I'm from Argentina.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I know. My accent.
So the positive aspects of COVID-19.
Sorry, I had to say that.
Yeah. Say it again.
No, I said it. They're done. They got to go away.
They got them. I don't know how we're going to get rid of them. Our Democratic
At the
leaders
ballot.
in the ballot.
At the ballot.
Ballot. There you go.
At the ballot and at the microphone and at the street corner and and in the marches, the protest marches, and in your actions and your deeds. This wasn't very funny.
No, it wasn't. It's
Usually
fine.
they're
I feel
kind of funny.
I feel very kind of calm about this, and
Yeah.
I'm glad we're out on the street, and I'm glad we're have this open mic and people are able to express themselves, and I'm glad we're going to be sharing some of what they've been talking about in the podcast going
Yes.
forward.
Yes.
So maybe that will be that service that we're giving that
Well,
you were talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. People should speak up.
And this is Barcrow Radio, B&A version, coming to you from the Windermere Chateau bar overlooking lovely West End Avenue. It's as lovely as it's ever been now that we are quiet and
And you can hear the birds.
you can hear the birds and very few cars coming by, just
See?
people walking up and down. And at 7 o'clock, banging of pans and yelling and bubbles.
saying thank you.
And saying
Thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, sweetie.
And thank you, honey.
It's been fun having this moments with you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Signing off.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Sergio Velasquez. I'm from Panama. Here enjoying the weather with my friends outside in the street. And that guy's chilling. I want to see you guys. I see you. The better is better than better than better than better. Cross my fingers. God bless you guys. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to say God bless you, everyone.
What is your name?
Sergio Velasquez.
Sergio. You're an essential worker too.
Yeah. I'm working, yes. I'm trying to support my family.
Thank you.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you.